What up, everybody? It's your boy Plug and Play coming at you one more time. We got a couple videos lined up for you this weekend, but today we are on Voyage of Despair, taking a look at another cipher here. You see we're in theater mode. We're gonna go ahead and go under the main staircase here, right down below, down by B deck. You're gonna see this painting on the wall. Now I know I wasn't the first person to spot this, but we're just gonna use this as a reference. We're going to go ahead and zoom in right there, and I'm going to go ahead and hold it for you, and we're just going to use this as a still image here while we go ahead and analyze it for the rest of the video. Now, I hope you guys get a few minutes to spare here because I love to ramble on and on about these ciphers, so if you've got nothing better to do for a couple minutes, go ahead and sit down and see if we can keep up and come up with some ideas. So we've got this cipher here on Voyage of Despair. Looks eerily similar to all the ciphers we've covered so far in the videos regarding the 9 map. As a matter of fact, the symbols are almost identical. But two things got me going with this specific cipher right here. One, it is very, very crystal clear. It is not like the ones on 9 when they're on pieces of paper and there's some like burn marks on the paper. It looks kind of faded. Some symbols are hard to make out. This cipher, number one, is perfect. Not only that, but it is lined up evenly. The spacing is perfect. It is clearly legible. Every little nuance in every symbol is perfect. And that got me thinking about step number 2 here. Now, we know pretty much where all these ciphers are. I don't think there's any of them on any of these maps that we've combed over that we haven't found. So that got me to thinking I need a list, a starting point, if you will, of all the symbols that we've been given so far. So I went ahead and compared every video, every screenshot, and every picture we've taken of all the ciphers, and I compiled them into one alphabet in no particular order. Right here is every symbol that we've ever seen on every cipher to this point in time. Now, with that being said, I want you to go with me here on a little bit of journey because this takes a little bit of creative imagination, if you will, and thinking outside the box. Now, from what we've learned over the years with various Call of Duty zombie games and their ciphers, is that they usually resort back to numbers and letter substitutions. Now, keep in mind that there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. Clearly, if I number these ciphers or these symbols right here, we're going to go ahead and get 41. Now, that doesn't work out very well when there's only 26 letters in the English alphabet. As a matter of fact, there's not any language that I can think of that has 41 characters in it. So that immediately, right off the gate, it gives us a roadblock. We know that we are 15 letters or digits off of where we needed to be. So that got me thinking. There has got to be other ciphers out there that we have not encountered or discovered that they could be using that we haven't had to deal with yet. We know about Treyarch Team's aversion to like substitution ciphers and the ABGX kind of ciphers and things like that, and they're really interesting, but at the end of the day they're pretty simple to solve. Now, I remember Mr. Blundell talking recently about ciphers in these maps that were pretty much unbreakable, and that if somebody broke them, they would be offered a job. Like, they were almost impossible to break, and I remembered that going into this. So with that in mind, we have these ciphers, we have these 41 characters. There's no character here that has not been included, so we know there's at least 41. Could be more, but we haven't found those yet. DLC maps coming out, maybe we will, who knows, but for now, we're going on the assumption we have 41 characters to work with. Now, we're going to go out on a limb here. Let's just say, for example, any one of these symbols could be the letter A. Okay? It does not matter. We're just going to use the letter A for example. It does not matter which one of these symbols represents the letter A or the letter B or the letter C. Because the way this works, now I'm going to throw this up for you on the screen here. Just doing a numerical order of the symbols in general. Bear with me. There is no way to determine which one of these would be the letter A. So, if we just go on the assumption for the sake of argument and say the number 1 is A. Okay? If my list that I made over here with these 41 symbols isn't accurate, it doesn't matter. 15 could be the letter A. 27 could be the letter A. 21 could be the letter A. It wouldn't matter, because if you had the key, you would still have the right letters in the right order. The numbers would just represent the letters differently. So if number 9 was the letter A, every number 9 would be the letter A, or every number 11 would be the letter B, and so on and so forth. So whatever number we decide to assign these symbols doesn't change the cipher itself. It just randomly generates numbers in certain orders, and each number would correspond to a letter. But that's not the case. We have more than 26 characters, which means we have 41. So that got me to thinking. I needed a way to determine what kind of ciphers existed out there to give us at least 41, if not more than 41 characters. So that got me on a very lengthy Google search, and it brought me to a website that explained to me what cipher something could be. Now there's a cipher generator right here. I'm throwing it up on screen. You can put any cipher in this box and hit compare, and it will immediately tell you what known ciphers it is closest to resembling. And you'll see here I went ahead and plugged those numbers in from our number generation of this Voyage of Despair cipher. 23, 2, 16, 34, so on and so forth. And it is 10 digits away from being what they refer to as a nihilist substitution cipher. It is the closest cipher that this resembles. It is not a monodynome, it is not a tridigital, it is not a morbid or a Grand Prix or so on and so forth. The closest cipher that these resemble is what they call a nihilist substitution cipher. Now that is a little bit of a pain in the ass, and I'm going to explain why. Because a nihilist cipher, a nihilist substitution cipher, is one of the hardest ciphers to crack. So Mr. Blundell and the Treyarch team, we're not kidding. I'm going to throw this up for you right here on the screen. A nihilist transposition is a cipher that is cracked using a at least 4x4 coded block of text. It could be 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, all the way up to 10x10, which would generate at least 100 digits. We have 41. There is no multipliers of 41. You can't go 6x6 to get 36. 7x7 would be 49. So for an evenly spaced square of digits, we would need at least a 7x7 cube to give us 49, which means there's 8 symbols we have not found in addition to our 41. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2 in a nihilist transposition cipher, I hope you haven't fallen asleep yet. If you're still watching, this is the big one. Problem number 2 in a nihilist transpose cipher is you have to have a 4-digit key in order to begin to decipher it. As you can see on this chart here, for example, a 1 or an 11 could be the letter S. A 4 or a 14 could be the letter A. So on and so forth. So any number could be any given letter at any given time without the key of at least 7 digits in ours, because we know it cannot be a 6x6. They have to be even, 6x6, 7x7, 8x8, and so on and so forth, so it's perfectly square. We know it can't be a 6x6 because that's 36. We already have 41. The next one up would be 49 at 7x7. A nihilist transposition cipher is impossible to crack without at least a 7-digit key. So we are stuck. I know that's not the answer we wanted, but we are one step closer to A, knowing how many ciphers there are and how many digits there are. There's at least 49, so there's at least a couple of more ciphers we have not discovered with symbols we have not accumulated. Number 2, we know what kind of cipher it is now. We've seen the cipher comparisons. We know for a fact that it resembles and is closest to being a nihilist transposition cipher, so we have a starting point. What we are looking for now is the next couple of ciphers, and we are looking for a 7-digit number using only digits 1 through 7. So if you find a 7-digit number out there in your games, guys, and it has the letter 8 or 9 or a 0, it's not what we're looking for. We are looking for a 7-digit number with only the numbers 1 through 7. Minimum. Keep in mind, it could be an 8. There could be 64 symbols out there. We won't know until we find more of these ciphers. So hopefully, even though there's not an answer, foolproof solution to this cipher right now, guys, hopefully in this video we've given you a little bit more information, letting you know as well that we are going on these daily, going strong, combing over everything in theater mode, doing hours of research on Google to try and find these answers for you. Hopefully the stuff that we bring to the table today will inspire the rest of you to go out there and do the same. Let's work together. There's a link down in the Twitter, or a link down in the description. You can find me on Twitter. We can compare notes, send messages, and what have you. In the meantime, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of all this. If you've got any leads, by all means, let us know. In the meantime, do a small channel a big favor in the big YouTube universe. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button down below. Show some love, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Keep grinding. Peace.
Without bullets, I'll have to resort to stabbing! Bye-bye.